Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 5 of Blades in the Dark, Embers in the Ashes. And I'm going to just go ahead and hand it over to our wonderful narrator, Nathan.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Nathan. I'm not another Nate on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the narrator for this amazing crew. We are playing Blades in the Dark, and we'll go around here in just a second to introduce the players and who they're going to be playing tonight. I say that every time, but it's always the same people. But it may not be at some point in time. So we'll go around. Tonight is our score night. We divide up every week into score or downtime. Tonight we'll be going out into the world of Duskfall and making merry mayhem. If I know this crew at all, so we'll see how this goes. So let's go around and introduce the players and see who they'll be playing. Let's start with Jacob.
Hey everybody, Duval King Jacob here. Both Eyes and I use he pronouns, and he is the group's slide, which typically is a subtle manipulator and spy, but with a little bit of trauma and some injuries, he's feeling particularly reckless. So who knows, maybe we'll have two misfrips tonight. We'll see what happens.
So this is a question I'll ask everyone. So can you give me where your stress level is, your harm level, and then I'll ask you something else after that.
I have zero stress.
Zero stress, all right.
Thanks to one trauma.
Any harm? Any harm?
I do indeed. One physical and one mental. So I'm feeling just fine.
Just peachy.
Just
and
peachy.
so let's talk about that mental state. What is I's mental state right now?
He's internally pretty fried. But he'll never let anyone see it.
Does Darlene or Joseph see it?
Darlene sees a sliver because he promised, to be honest. Whether that's full transparency or not,
right? Shades of gray.
Shades of gray is all. Of course, it's Dustfall, baby. Yeah, but in a way though, he's even though there's a lot of things kind of running around in his head, especially after his conversation with Miss Corbin, he's still in a decent mood.
Okay, well, let's see if we can do something about that. And Josh, can you go next?
Sure. Hi, I'm Saevrick or Josh, and tonight I'm playing Preacher. We both use he, him pronouns. I'm the group's whisper. I currently have 3 stress, and after Nathan's tonight, I'll probably have full stress, but I also have 1 harm.
Is that level 1 harm?
Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about what is Preacher's mental state. There was some drama, if I remember correctly.
Some deception, I think.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, on behalf of fellow party members.
Okay.
Or at least a fellow party member that I know of. He's pretty torn because the family that he thought he had may not be the family that he thought he had after all. And after a whole season of reconciling with his son, that is now over. So...
Sounds good. All right. Let's go to someone connected to that mental state. Hannah, how are you?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm Hannah. My character is Miss Fritter. She is this group's cutter. That means that she likes to scrapbook. Her real name is Pie, but only her friends call her that. And at this point, none of you are her friends anymore. So I guess that's just one for the books.
Yeah, scrapbook club's canceled.
So close to 1. Like 0.8.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. My harm and my stress level. I have 3 stress, and I have a level 1 harm from getting hit with the Derringer back in episode 1. That apparently is slow to heal from. So
yeah, it's slow
that's
healing.
A bitch.
So let's talk about Miss Fritter's mental state. Where's Miss Fritter at? There was some drama with Miss Fritter last time.
I don't recall what you mean.
You don't recall that? There wasn't? Maybe I'm just making it up in my head now. I would have swore there was a knife to someone's throat. There was a letter received. There was a walking briskly away from a conversation. Where's Miss Fritter's head?
Not in her normal territory. She's we would say not in a good space, as the kids say.
For those of you who have been following along, Miss Fritter and Preacher have a relationship that goes outside the bounds of the Ash Syndicate. Do you all think that the other one sees this change, this cloud?
That's a little broad. What do you mean by that?
Would Preacher see Miss Fritter having changed in the last few days? Would Miss Fritter see Preacher's mood or patterns change?
I don't want to speak for Josh, so Josh can totally speak for himself.
I definitely think that Preacher would be very distant, and not just from Fritter, probably from everybody at this point.
I think that would be definitely how she would be behaving at this juncture as well. So it is possible that they are just avoiding each other and kind of no one's noticing any real change because we're all sort of doing the same thing.
Okay, cool. And our final cast member is Lynn. How are you?
Doing good. I am Lynn. I'm playing Miss Corbin. We are both she, her. And Miss Corbin is the team's spider, which is a little mastermind doing planning, everything else behind the scenes, stuff like that.
And how can you what is harm and stress?
Both at 0. No harm and no stress.
See, I gotta work on that tonight. All right. And let's talk about that mental state. How is Miss Corbin doing?
I think she's trying to hold together as much as she can. She just had she's had a few instances where she had to kind of let people in on things where she didn't necessarily want to. And she is probably also multitasking more than is probably healthy with everything, with the hive, with her father, and just running, trying to keep the Ash Syndicate going. So,
absolutely, you find probably I would say Miss Corbin finds herself doing tasks that others have done in the past, whether it's taking care of things at the hideout or taking care of getting supplies, doing things like that, doing more and more. I almost see Miss Corbin the control, not trying to control, but having to control even more than what she's used to, as other people kind of slip into their own routines, maybe. But it definitely feels like the Ash Syndicate is at a crossroads.
Yeah, I think also in relation to her other crime members, she is probably also distant with all that stuff going on. She probably is a lot colder toward people. It just seems... She just seems that is maybe people aren't the focus right now for her.
Okay. All right. Let's start in on this. We're going to flash back a couple of days to where Miss Corbin is walking into the bar there at the track like she normally does, checking mail, checking messages, setting up appointments for the day, basically using Rigney as a go-between, as a person to valet, to make sure that nothing comes to her unannounced. And Rigney points over to a booth there at the bar and says, that old man came to see you last night. He actually didn't leave and has been sitting there ever since. He just asked that you see him at your most urgent convenience, I believe were his words.
Oh, and he didn't go through the usual channels, leave me a note. I am easy to find if I'm necessary. What? Any idea what's this secrecy?
He needs something. He wouldn't tell me what was going on. I don't really know, but you know, he may think it's important, it may not be. I don't know, but I just ask you to talk to him. I'll hang out here and make sure he's okay, but he seems pretty harmless.
Harmless or not, I have limited time, so hopefully what he has to say is quick and important enough to see him.
Absolutely. And as you walk over, you see an aged man, and one with a slumped figure, probably due to advanced age and the hard living of Dustfall. He wears a long, deep purple cape that has a high collar and actually fits around almost like a hood would. There's also you could see that on the bottom of it is a strip of cloth that is used to go around the mouth at times, but for now his is off. He has a scraggly gray beard, bushy eyebrows, and is messing with something on the table, kind of poking at it and put it around. He's also talking in a low voice to what is indubitably the largest bird you've ever seen. And as you look closer, you see this is actually a Death Seeker crow.
Oh. So, the Scorpion will walk up to the booth. Hello, I heard that you wish to see me, and you being in my establishment, came to see what you wanted. And she'll motion one of the people to bring some drinks over.
Yeah. He looks up at you, and for the first time, he kind of the hood kind of falls back a little bit. You can see where the strip of cloth would usually go over his mouth. It's actually there's another on his eyes, covering his eyes fully, to where a deep, dark strip of cloth where you know that he's not able to see through. And so he looks unerringly in your direction, though, and just says, "Miss Corbin, it's so good to meet you. I am." Sorry, I didn't sleep well last night. I am Bogenreef. This is Piper, and he points to the bird. And up close, this bird, again, we're talking the size of a hawk. Large black beak, bigger eyes than normal, huge wings on this crow as they're used to gliding over the city looking for the dead, and calling to the spirit wardens. He says, do not be afraid of Piper. He is my companion. He helps me to get around during the day.
Oh, and what a striking companion it is.
Well, he came in my possession, and I found it better to put him to work. You see, even though he is broken, he still has uses. You look for the first time, and I think this is when the crow bats out his wings and does the kind of the flap, and one of his wings is not quite the way it should be. So you know that flying is probably not going to be in the cards for him. He says, I found him and nursed him back to health, and he's been my companion ever since. So, I'm sorry. You did not come to prattle with an old man about birds. I have a proposition for you, but I need your help.
Oh, and exactly what kind of services or help do you need?
I need a species of mushroom picked for me. Seems like a simple request. I recognize there are mushrooms growing all over the city, all over the place. You see, I am a member of a faction called, I'm a member of the Bonnies. We distribute medicine to the poor in Charter Hall, to those that work in in terrible conditions, and those that are unable to go to have leeches take care of them. We provide medicine, and mostly in the form of mushrooms that we're able to grow. But someone has bought up the mushroom space from us and took it from us. And so we have to start over. The Bonnies, they do indeed work out of Charter Hall. They're a small group. Usually they're ex-healers and people that have worked maybe in Charter Hall. Some say that they're probably a tier 2. So there's 15 to 20 of them total, with some younger initiates and some older people. They do indeed do exactly what they say, that they're almost like a folk hero to the common person, because when you can't go anywhere else and get paid, you can go to the Bonnies and they'll take care of you. Some say that it's because of they're nicknamed the Bonnies because of the large hoods that they wear, and the face mask. It looks like an old timey bonnet. Some say it's actually named for one of the founding members who gave of their time and energy to others, and we thank them for that.
Oh, that's important work. Yes, work with those that fall between the cracks, and no one is willing to help. I get that. So we need to acquire these mushrooms, and
Yes, you see, it's a special type, and he goes into the detail, way too much detail to even matter to anyone else, describing exactly what it looks like. It's extremely large. These mushrooms they're looking for, they kind of spore off of one central colony, and they go about. They are known. They are water loving, so they're going to be at places where they're surrounded by water a lot of times, and that kind of is prized within Duskwall as far as where it is. They are slow growing, but they have both pain relieving and anesthesia-like properties that are very valuable. Bogenreef kind of hands over. He says, I understand you all deal in contracts. I've prepared one, and I've had my attorney look it over, and Piper said it was okay, so I think it'll be fine. He kind of flips around this piece of paper and pushes it your direction. It's fairly simple, but the script is nice and neat. And as you look it over, you see that they're offering you, much like you have with other businesses, they're offering you a stake in their game, so to speak, for when they actually do get paid and stuff that comes through.
I look it over. It's a fairly simple contract, correct?
It's like if you go on and write easycontracts.com or one of those websites where I will do this, you will do that, we promise to do this, here's how we get out of it, move right on. It's that simple, but it's very direct and very easy to get. So it seems like that's kind of his MO is just here it is, let's see what happens.
Yes. I suppose there's something we can work with this, and I suppose that there is a reason that the old group cannot gather these yourselves. That there's something dangerous or difficult that is barring you.
Yes. Right to the point. You see, we had several of these colonies around the city, and we're propagating them as needed. But we were bought out recently, or those patches of mushrooms have been bought out, and they were taken from us. We
Unfortunate.
do know of the parent colony and where it is. And you see, kind of, he does the swallow thing as if he doesn't want to say, it is in the Lost District.
Oh, just in the Lost District. Of course, something like that. Valuable is difficult to come by, and I'm guessing the properties that make the Lost District and beyond the lightning fences makes for some fruitful beds for them.
We only know we don't actually even know if it's there. We assume it's there. Our colonies have lived for generations upon generations, and the original parent colony we took was actually from the Lost District. That's how we know of its origin. It is in the aqueducts in the center of the district.
Yes, and being in the Lost District, you wouldn't have very many, other entrepreneurs coming in there.
Right. Who is bold enough to go out there? And then he kind of oh yeah, I'm trying to get you to go out there. It's like, oh yes, but of course you could. It is well within your means, of course.
Yes, we have specialists that deal with things beyond us. To you. Well, guess you have some sort of reputation then. So, How much of it are we talking about coming back?
We need the parent colony, and he explains how much it is. It's whatever we need it to be. But it is a large center colony. And then if you can get others, that's great. We can talk about how much you're able to gather and sell those. The parent mushroom that basically it all comes from is what we're looking for.
Ah, well, acquisition, something we can do, and you need all the help you can get with this, what's been going on. Another question before I bring this to my associates. A very important question. Who is this party that's been buying out your other stock?
I wish I knew. It is someone of noble, but must be of the noble caste, as they have purchased large swaths of the places where these specific mushrooms are, as well as others about the city, and we're not even able to. We were not able to take our stock and transplant it. So it's someone with power and the ability to throw lots of coin around very quickly.
Yes, well, I guess mainly because if someone is buying up all these supplies, they might consider what we're doing competition and react
absolutely.
thusly. So
Yes. No, absolutely. If they knew about it, but quite honestly, we have procured a small mushroom bread that is secreted away, and this one will not be known to the public.
good. Because I'd also like to know who is messing around Charter Hall. Who's buying it? Because they must have a reason.
I wish I knew. It happened so suddenly. We went to harvest mushrooms one day and were escorted off the premises by bluecoats.
I have another question. I am not extensively knowledgeable on the fungus and their like. Additionally, healing. Do these have any other purposes, narcotic, otherwise?
These do not, but they do. Well, I say that they have the ability to put you at ease a little bit. So the healing properties would go with them and work like that. But I guess you could use it for nefarious reasons if we were to make that leap. Yes, you could.
I'm talking about poisons. Can you make this into a poison?
This one, no. But many other mushrooms, yes. And this would probably be used with those poison mushrooms. Maybe help. Now we think about it, this would maybe slow the system down and would allow the poisons to get in touch with your energies better. Maybe, yes.
Well, that's certainly fascinating, and I see no problem with this job. I will have to pass it through my other associates, but I see no reason why we couldn't do this. So we'll talk it over, and I'll send a. Is there any place I can reach you once we come to a decision?
No, do not be feared. I am an old man who has some time on his hands. I'll stop by here every once in a while. Piper and I will. The food we've eaten here has been very good. We'll stop by here every few days and just see if you're able to help us out in this matter.
Well, I will try not to keep you having made too many unneeded return trips, and I'll have it that you are comped for whatever you get. Within reason, of course, but I'd like for you to be comfortable when you come here.
Well, thank you. Everything is within reason, of course, at my age.
Well, right. Then, we sing you.
So you're able to go away. You see, as you're leaving, he's petting Piper and talking to Piper in an excited voice. Yes, Piper, they're going to do it. We're going to get off the ground again. Yes. And so you're able to go back and talk over with your fellow cast members, and they all say yes, because if they don't, this is going to be a real short night.
Good night, everybody.
Well, that was fun.
That's fun.
This adventure sucks. All right. So within a few days, you're able to do some planning, enough to do your flashback time, whatever you need like that. And we're going to make our way into the Lost District. The Lost District is in the eastern part of Dustfall. It actually is cut off from the rest of Dustfall on toward the mainland, just to the east. It used to be a very prosperous place. There's a lightning barrier that actually still goes around it, but it has been broken beyond repair for decades now. There was a plague that some people say started in the Lost District, and the nobles there were able to get out quickly enough. And then there was a decision to burn the bridges, and basically just instead of letting the plague spread amongst all Dustfall, the people sacrificed the Lost District, and it went lights out. The Sparkrights actually made the decision to shut down the lightning barrier in that area, and instead move it straight down the bay, and the Lost District became an archaic ruin overnight. Its architecture is, say, if you were looking at houses 50, 75 years ago, in bad repair. Spirits out there, you've heard stories about spirits out there, as most of the spirits within Dustfall are pretty, I say, well-mannered. They're still within reason, or they're after a specific task. But the spirits out in the Lost District, it's just like being in the wastelands. There's no telling what you can run into.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, there is no light. There is no lightning barrier. There is no lights of people. You have heard that there is a faction called the Spirit Nails?
Silver Nails, I think.
Silver Nails. Ha.
Yeah.
Silver Nails. I gave that to you. The Silver Nails that have gotten permission from the city to go out into the Lost District and loot and basically bring back treasure, and then bring it back over where they divide it up amongst members of the council and themselves. They are all spirit hunters, so they have special horse. They actually have horses that are able to fight against spirits, and they have lots of charms and spirit-bane charms and things like that to fight against the spirits themselves. But besides that, it's pretty wide open out there. What other questions do you have up front? Done? Great. Wonderful.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Would we have narrowed it down to like a particular area or a couple?
Depends on someone's going to make me a roll and succeed or not.
Also, I have one question. How are we getting across? Are we taking one of the bridges with the car?
The bridges are actually broken in half, right? Probably 50 feet out on one side and 50 feet out on the other side. And it looks like they're in horrible repair. So you can get across there in a boat. You can get across there you can have one, pay one of the gondoliers to take you over there. Not gonna worry about how to get there and get back in the sense that you're able to do it all without someone breathing down your neck. Now, where it's going to come into play is if for some reason you go to flee the Lost District, and whoever dropped you off ain't gonna stick around. Let's just put it like that.
Heck yeah.
Well,
okay.
We're undefeated on the boats. On boats. 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
That boat blew up.
Yeah. We still have the little one.
All still here. That's I'm just saying, like,
I just don't feel like we survived it, but the boat still blew up. Okay, sorry, that's out of character. What if I just go buy a boat? Can I just go buy a boat?
If you want to pay for a boat out of your coin in your pocket, you be my guest.
How much would a boat cost?
How much money you got?
I got a lot of coin. So
let's say this: a small boat that you could basically paddle across, something like that, would be 1 coin. It's not that much. A larger boat that would fit you'd all be able to paddle and kind of get out of there pretty quickly is going to be 2 coin.
All right, I'll pay that 2 coin. It's done. I bought a boat.
Of course, we're gonna need something that needs to go fast at some point or escape.
The name of this is the SS what?
The SS Ladle.
SS Ladle. Of course it would be. Of course it would be.
Why did you even ask, Nate?
Oh yeah, my bad.
It was just gonna be.
That's me asking the dumb questions out here.
And I would like to have had this boat. Like I'll pay for it right now, but it's been my boat.
Of course. All right, so let me roll the engagement roll. and see where
All
we
right,
go.
all right. Let's see.
So it's going to be.
Can Days be the captain of this boat? Can we bring Days back for
That's
this?
fine.
Just,
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Days needs on the job time. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So Days, you wrangle in Days, and
I
he
nugget.
is super excited to be able to go out and do this. He's already looking at the boat and trying to figure out how to put different things on it and what he should be doing, gets on with a big load of cargo, and we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so
Long
Days
as-
Pulls out one of those old like calendars from like 1982 that's got a naked chick on laying on a car, because he thinks that's like totally the kind of thing.
Totally cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So engagement roll is a die for sheer luck. Major advantage. Operations, particularly boulder daring. Yes, you're going to the Lost District.
we are not.
Plans detail expose the vulnerability of the target. No. Friends or contact that provide aid or insight. No, not at this point. Target is a lower tier. No, that doesn't matter. And district modifiers does not matter for advantage. It does matter on the disadvantage, simply because everything that you're looking at is 75 years old or older. Like the plans, the drawings, the diagrams, they're just not readily available like they are everywhere else. So we're gonna roll 2 die. Unless someone wants to say something. I heard a noise. I want to make sure.
I was gonna ask. We'll say this is in the hideout, and which typically means that Krisha and I are sipping on some whiskey, or this could be at 2Cast, I guess. You wouldn't have any insider info on this here district. Seems to be your modus operandi. You know what I mean?
If there was a place that could be lawless, it would be the Lost District. And I don't mean that in a physical form, but in a spiritual form. It's hard to tell what exactly is going to be out there, whether corporeal or incorporeal. Frankly, I think it's a terrible mission, and we should not be doing it.
Good. Well, you're not alone. But here we are. We'll make for really great stories for the kids.
And you just sort of see his face, like, blank at it.
Too soon.
I don't know anything about the breakup, yo.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
Moving right along the engagement roll. Here we go.
Stab.
It'd be so bad.
Um,
Do we roll a 6?
no.
Oh God. Oh no.
No, I rolled 2 2s.
That's fine. Ugh.
Is that good for you or good for us?
That's
It's-
not good. That's not
it's
good.
That's
bad for
bad.
you all.
Oh, better. Love it.
Just set this ship on fire as it's sinking.
So what happens is the
Days
plan-
crashes my boat.
No, the plans that you have to make where you're going to go, there is, again, the winter is already hit, and this part of the river is completely iced up. You're not able to get up into the district like you thought you were going to. You're actually having to have to go around the outside. We're in the deeper water a little bit. There is an old rickety dock that you're able to tie up to, but this is nowhere near where you thought you were going to be. And you are farther, you're gonna have to travel through the city. Whereas you had hoped to travel just a few blocks, now you're gonna have to travel through the city. And mechanically what I'm gonna do is you're gonna have to make 2 rolls of some kind to figure out where you're going to go, where you're going to get to this aqueduct, instead of just 1. Cool? All right. So the scene would play out that Days try to take the boat in, just can't get up the river, and you have to moor it at an old broken down dock. I think there's still some piers, some concrete piers or some kind of stone piers that are hoisted in the water 6 or 8 feet out. It's a super rocky shore. It would not be a beach by any means. It's one of those shores where they pile up the rocks just to keep everything from flying away. And it looks like this was a dock of some kind, maybe a fisherman's dock. Pretty small, but you can see that there are a few dock houses and houses that have been weathered with time. People came out here for the longest time and grabbed whatever they could, whether it's actual wood or whether it's clay or whatever they could find on these houses. A lot of these houses were picked clean, so now it's just kind of the standing timbers, and the air is very cold and frigid as you look for a place that can start you on this journey. You also notice that there's not much in the way of phosphorescence out here. It is completely pitch dark. And for the first time, again, as you tie the boat up, you also notice the absence of one thing that is perpetually in Duskwall, and that's sound. When you live in a big city, it's live all the time. There's always some kind of sounds and something going on. Out here, even the waves seem to echo against the night as it slowly crashes over and over again on the stone. What would you like to do?
Damn it, Days.
Days says, I'm sorry I couldn't get you closer, but I think with the maps that show you, if you go straight in here and then hook 2 lefts and a right, you'll be right there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about that?
With you all standing here, not very.
With your eyes closed, we're not here.
Then yeah, I'm pretty confident, but I'm staying on the boat.
Well,
Right.
maybe another means of getting there, maybe through one of the bridges. But it's going to be a little bit tricky.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Biscore. You could follow the bridge around the side there in, because it's like the main area, and then go to the bridge and then go in. That's a good idea.
Ah,
I do, I kind of take out some grappling hooks. We could, alley-oop, grab on the other side, maybe we can get a little closer to the bridge and a bit of a climb.
Yeah. Dave says I could like get you underneath there, and you could climb up to the top if you got the grappling hook on right.
Yeah.
Because
Tell you
there's
what,
nowhere to moor the
I'll
boat
even
over
go
there.
first.
Like I can't stop the boat once I'm going.
For sure. No worries. No worries. Glad I brought it.
So I'll give you the choice. You can go from here, and it's going to take 2 successful rolls of some kind to figure out where you need to go. Or
Okay.
you can go around and grapple up to the bridge, which would take you a physical roll of some kind to get there, and then 1 roll to figure out where you're going to go. I'll give you all the choice of what you want to do.
oh, I have some information that Miss Corbin has had a limited time. She was the first one to get the notice of this particular job. Has done her research, and would you allow her to have maps,
Absolutely.
all the maps from the archives? So if we get there, we have a good idea where we're going.
Yeah, I still think so. I'll allow you to have the maps. I still think it's going to take a roll of some kind to read those maps and figure out what they are. Again, you're talking about 75-year-old maps that are probably not in the best of shape anyway. So you can have the maps, no problem. It's just going to take a roll a successful roll to be like, oh yeah, I recognize this, and this. Because you think about it too, it's all based on road signs which are not here anymore.
Yes.
Or a building that's not here anymore. The police station is just a big ass building, a shamble building. It's not there. It's not what it says it is. Stuff
So
like
we're
that.
saying 75 years.
Of course.
At least, yeah.
Okay.
That's in my canon. I don't know what it actually is. I think it's more than 100 years or so in actual book canon. But
So
Okay,
when
the
Fritter
only
was a
one I
kid, this thing was like probably like not completely dead yet. Like
yeah, I would say that since when she was a child, it was in the first few decades of.
Yeah. So it was probably still like something
Right.
that like older kids would go try to like break
Yeah.
into and do
Or
weird shit.
or
I'll
adults
assist
would.
you on
Okay.
your investigation-y thing there.
Okay.
'Cause I may know something.
Yep. All right,
Sweet.
so take your 2 stress. And then let's roll for maps, for map reading.
Okay.
Also, what are y'all using for light? something we didn't know. Make sure you mark your load because it may come into play here.
Yeah, she probably has a lantern on there.
I'm good.
There's 2 glowing eyes. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, study.
Take a lantern too.
Is it me or are they more powerful out here? These wild spirits about. I don't know.
All right, let's make
I'd
that
rather
roll.
not. Rather not. I'd rather just assume that everyone's a weak sauce and awful and like just.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to assume that.
Should I make that roll?
Yep, go for the roll.
All right, bonus dice. Let's do it.
So this is. You rolled a. This was a failure to start with, so you're going to start out in desperate position.
Yeah. All right, cancel desperate. Effect standard or limited?
Standard. No, standard effect.
Okay. Bonus. Instead of 2 stress, can I have this be the information that I got from the downtime?
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Woohoo.
You know, I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna send those 2 dice and I'm gonna push myself to give myself another dice on there. So,
Okay. Sounds good.
all right, let's do it. Come on. Thank
All right.
goodness. Those other 3 were not good numbers.
No, they were not.
Those were not good numbers. Oof.
Good
So I
lord.
think for a lot of it, your map knowledge doesn't give you any detail. I'm taking from the dice here. It doesn't give you the detail you need, but you remember seeing pictures and being able to put things together on how the aqueducts are run and how they were run in parallel to the bridges. And as trade was coming off, this was a huge coal area as well. As trade was out in this district, brought in and then brought back over the bridges to Duskfall itself. So you know, since you found this main bridge area and since you've found the main vein, so to speak, it's at a crosshatch, and you know that you can. You remember seeing pictures of things as people coming back and forth, and you realize that you can get there pretty well.
All right, well, if we get there. So imagine, what was it? Miss Corbin and Miss Ritter spent some time kind of like making a secondary map out of this thing, just so one that we can take with us. That's a little easier for us to read. And so we find others. That must be it then. With your information, does this seem right? All right, good. We at least won't be like, once we get there, we won't be looking around in the dark for something we're not entirely sure. This is our best lead, so that's
Absolutely.
good. Now just have to get there.
So you all are able to go forth, go down a few blocks. Again, super eerie, quiet. You actually hear the screams of spirits around you. They haven't honed in on your position. They don't really know where you are. I think with Preacher's help, you're able to kind of notice the worst signs of things and what could be happening around you, and able to go into buildings and out and around. And so no one's, again, spirits are out here hunting, but they're just hunting for whatever living things they can find. You're actually, because people aren't out here, spirits don't actually come out here to hunt people, so to speak. But if they saw you, they would definitely try to possess you, and it would be very, very bad.
I would think
So
I'd
you're
be
able
on
to,
extra
ahead.
high caution
yeah.
and almost like post-traumatic stress at this point.
Yeah.
Being in the quiet, in the darkness, and just surrounded by all of these things in the dark that are just outside, only like physical but spiritual perception.
Yeah, absolutely. Preacher, you definitely, whereas everyone else can physically see ghosts or spirits kind of flying in the distance or as they're around, Preacher, you feel them all around you, just like a circle, just kind of circling around you. Still don't really know what you are, but there is some interest there from spirits as they see you, and you feel their presence around you begin to form a little bit.
And just imagine him like holding up this lantern and sort of doing a slow circle as he's just peering out into the darkness.
How are
Just
things?
wide-eyed.
How are things looking, preacher?
He's silent for quite a while.
You're going to have to tell us if we're in danger. You're the only one that knows this stuff.
We're in danger every second that we stay here.
Yes. Anything immediate? Or is it just the ever-present miasma of whatever's out here?
He slowly turns to Miss Corbin and stares at her. There's nothing here more than just the echoes of our lives. Every spirit, every emotion, every hope, and every dream that we ever had is going to come. It is going to come for us and attack us in every way possible. It is very beautiful and very mocking.
Maybe you shouldn't drink that whiskey before we came out.
I feel like we need to move as quickly as we can. They're around us, and they can start to sense us.
Okay. So let's have that other roll. So you're in the city. You're in here in the few blocks. You're moving around pretty well in and out of buildings and around as Preacher is able to kind of move you around large. I think there are sometimes these spirits gather together as they almost feed off each other's emotions and rages and pains. And a few times, Preacher, you're able to sense that emotion coming at you and kind of circumvent around it and move into a place here or a couple of times hiding within buildings themselves as whole groups of spirits come tumbling down the road and in the air, just anger and wailing and noises like you've never heard and probably don't want to hear from anywhere else. So we're in the city proper. The aqueducts, are around here somewhere. You're able to see them every once in a while in underneath the city streets as they ran beneath the streets. And it looks like there is actually what your map shows is there was a group of buildings that surrounded an open fountain that the aqueduct popped out of, and that was kind of the place where you thought, hey, this can be where the place is. But around it are surrounded buildings that the walls have collapsed and collapsed over onto each other and just kind of made a mess of things as the. So I'm going to need a roll of some kind to see how you all get through this tapestry of demolition, so to speak.
So, feels very prowly to me.
Okay.
So I would like to volunteer as tribute.
Would you like to go first, or would you like to lead a group action? Again, going first means everyone else has to go as well, but only you suffer consequences. Group action means you all roll. You all will roll prowl or whatever it is. No matter what, if you have prowl or not, it doesn't matter. And then whoever leads the group action will take a stress for every person that is under 3 that fails the roll. But the highest roll for the entire group is what counts.
I'll do that. I think that we're all prowling. It's just...
Yeah. Okay, so who's going to lead the group action?
Sure.
Not me.
Okay,
Yeah,
Eyes?
I'll do the thing. Yep.
Okay, that's great. All right, so everyone roll prowl. Everybody roll, and then we'll see what we get.
Is it risky and standard?
It is risky and standard because you're doing this as a group action, and then we'll go back to desperate afterwards.
Roll the 4.
My motherfucking God. What is
God,
happening?
I am sorry.
before.
I am sorry in advance.
Preacher.
I'm sorry in advance. That's a 1. I'm
Oh.
so sorry.
Okay, so we take.
Shit.
Motherfuck.
So you take 2 stress. Eyes takes 2 stress as you and Miss Corbin are not able to prowl like you should. The overall was a 5, which is a success with complications.
You're
So
welcome.
never been so happy to
Of all-
see a
of all
5.
people!
Well, preacher's
Of all
all fucking
people.
crazy here, but he's the one who's squeaking around.
So
Saving
Hey.
faces.
what happens to Miss Corbin and Eyes that you all make noise or are not able to get in like you should?
I think Miss Corbin's just not used to the nature of this Lost District. She's more used to the city proper, and she's a little bit out of her element out here.
Yeah, I
Trying
can't
to
think of
run
a,
around
I
here.
can't think of a worse element for her to be in, to be honest with you, because there's no people.
Yeah.
There's it's just nature is taking its course, and you are absolutely at its whim. It's like being stuck out to me it's like being stuck out in the ocean. It's like, well,
Yeah.
if nature wants me, here we go.
And plus, she has like kind of like an old leg injury that kind of like keeps her from like being too spry with the running.
And is Eyes just trying to help her get up into a place to get through, or maybe you all end up climbing up into like a second floor and coming through that second floor into the main courtyard, so to speak, or something like that?
So
Do you think that's
It's a little different because he's weirdly like, because he's absolutely a city boy for sure, but there's some kind of strange piece to all of this, and like he's actually like enjoying like this excursion, and it takes him out of the of focus for just a moment, and so he kind of maybe hits a trash can a little too hard, or
question? Is this Eyes' first time ever out of Duskwall?
I think so, yeah.
Just something to ponder for later.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to get Miss Corbin. I think you don't even pay attention as she's kind of sliding down some stone, trying to make her way up onto the second floor and into this courtyard area. Preacher and Miss Fritter. I almost
You're not her
Oh
friend.
no!
You're not her
DM
friend.
Death of the DM.
Mm.
I'm narrator.
That was awesome.
I caught myself. I stopped.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway, moving right along. Miss Fritter and Preacher have made their way into the courtyard, and you all kind of walk out on this balcony that's half fallen down into the courtyard itself. And what you see is what would have been an amazing place. High skyrise buildings, 4 and 5 stories tall, surround this large open area that would have been a courtyard with a huge fountain down. The aqueduct actually comes up right here and makes a ring of water around this island in the middle. That is what you can see is glowing with fungus right now. But it would have been absolutely gorgeous to think about it, and I think you almost get a flash of people walking through the park and playing, and kids playing in the aqueducts, and just peaceful city life before the flash returns back to what was a nightmarish, plague-ridden part of the city that's fallen in decrepit disrepair. Does Miss Fritter or Preacher say anything to each other as you gaze upon this spectacle? Or is there ice in the air?
I think there'd be ice in the air from me,
Yeah,
I'm-
1000%.
but
Okay.
I don't know what her reaction to it would be because she doesn't necessarily know what I know.
Yes, but she has her own things she's knowing about.
So
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. So, Eyes, you and Miss Corbin are able to scurry up the side where these rocks are. And I think what happens, the complication I'm going to break out, is about that time, you hear coming down the street the clop of hoof prints. And you think, they're so out of place in this space at this point in time that it doesn't even make sense. So it doesn't register until you're almost up and out and around as coming into view is a line of horse people. I say horse people because there's both men, women, non-binary people that are all lined up in one big long line. They're all riding horses, and they all have glowing talismans. Preacher, you can, if you were to look, even without that, they actually glow a bright white light. They each have a lance that has up and down the lance is almost like you would see with the hook. It has electricity running all up and down it. It shines and shimmers over their horses, and you know that these are the Silver Nails, as they're policing their grounds, their looting grounds, so to speak. And it sounds like they may be on the lookout for you all out here. So
just to clarify, these are humans or
These are
bipedals
humans.
riding
No,
horses.
these are humans riding horses.
Okay.
They are just
Not horse people, as in like
Not
Centaurs.
centaurs.
No,
not
not
centaurs.
yet. No, no.
I just
Not
wanted
yet.
to make sure.
I said
that-
people as the collective of people, so we can have all the all
Yeah.
choices. But yes,
Horse,
I guess
comma,
like
people.
riders,
yeah,
as opposed to
ride.
horse. Okay,
They are those
fine.
that ride horses.
got it.
They are
Fine.
people on horses.
They're not horses that are riding people,
Not
right?
horses riding people.
That's
So many
Um,
options.
That would that's
That's a
probably
good
for the
band
next
name.
campaign. Gonna write that down for the next campaign. And so these are actually just people riding horses, but out here they look bigger. They look. It's like the supernatural effect as they're glowing. You know, as they're basically glowing.
And they're called the Silver Nails.
They're Silver Nails. They are a faction. Yeah, you know that they have claimed the Lost District and all of its antiquities for their own. And if they knew you were out here, they would absolutely try to kill you. So we're going to put a clock for the people of the horse, people on the horse, to find you all. And this is going to be... We're in a desperate situation. It's going to be a 4-turn clock.
Oh,
yeah, it's going to be
geez.
4.
Oh, God.
Where we started out in desperate situation. We're not in a good way. All right. So let me mark that in text.
And it's 4 turns for them to find us, right?
Yes.
Depending on how that goes, it could be we could fill that thing.
Yeah, you could
fast.
fill it up very quickly depending on how you roll. The horse swords cometh. All right.
Yeah.
So if
Wow.
if they find you, you know they will. There's a group of 5 of them right now. They will. There is no laws out here. There is no. There's whatever they make of it. But the target that you seek is in view.
Mushrooms?
What would you like to do?
Can we see each other?
Yes. Sorry. Basically, what I thought is that Miss Fritter and Preacher had gone up into the second floor as well and kind of pushed forward to look down in, and Eyes and Miss Corbin came up behind, just were lagging a little bit, taking their time. And so now, Eyes, you and Miss Corbin kind of come out on the same balcony.
Just waving them down.
Yeah.
As they come up.
Yeah. You all see this large courtroom, the courtyard with the aqueducts. It's dried up now, but you see the mushrooms. There's a huge colony of mushrooms that are growing in the center, probably always have been. Looks like one of these could be the mushroom that you seek. Just a matter of picking it and getting out.
So
I think.
Do we know anything about these mushrooms? They're not like mandrakes that if we cut one of them, they're going to scream or something. I just want to know.
I think that.
me Seymour.
let's. I think that's a roll.
Sure. What would you like me to roll?
What knowledge? Where would you have gained knowledge about mushrooms?
Being a connoisseur of all super fancy food in Duskwall, I feel like she would know a lot about mushrooms.
We also have a drug den now, so just saying.
And we have a
drug
drug
now.
den.
You have a drug den. So is that a consort?
I would really like survey to be the answer.
Okay. I'll give
have more pips in that one.
Survey a location or situation, understand what's going on, sense trouble before it happens, gather information about opportunities or exploits.
Sense trouble before it happens.
I think, that in between gather information for opportunities or exploits. And go ahead and take an extra die for the drug den knowledge.
Sweet. Risky and standard. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Risky and
Yes.
standard. Nothing's changed. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Nope. It's always good to ask.
6, baby! I
Oh
got
my
a
God. Oh.
6! What's up? Okay, sorry.
Come on.
Don't be sorry about that at all. That's about fucking fantastic.
So I think you, all your stuff comes up dry as far as the information you're going to gather and blah blah blah. But at the drug den, because this is the die that got it, at the drug den, the proprietor kind of tells you a little bit about this mushroom that you may be seeking. To be very careful, as there are other mushrooms that are around it that are noxious, that will, upon being disturbed, will kind of shoot out spores that will poison you. So it's not this one that's the problem, it's the other ones that are the problem.
That's cool. I pull out a gas mask and a collection device, and I'm going to go get it.
Gas mask, go ahead and mark something down. What would a gas mask be under?
An unusual
Demolition tools or tinkering
subterfuge
tools?
supplies.
Ooh,
Subterfuge supplies, yeah.
I just make a mark in something. As long as you make a mark in something,
Yeah,
yeah,
small
subterfuge
mark.
that works.
I'm going to put in subterfuge.
I guess
Sure.
it would be nice if they had like an unusual item instead of an unusual weapon, but I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so make a mark in something to mark that you have that. Is anyone else going to collect this?
Miss Corbin, I think will also come prepared with that, and I'll use that, and I'll collect.
Okay. What are Preacher and Eyes doing?
So, assuming this information was shared with everyone, perhaps we have some for our contract, and then maybe we leave. Maybe there's a possibility that we could set a trap with the others. Just as a going away present, maybe.
Okay, so you
Like-
want to collect the other ones as well?
Well, I'm assuming they're collecting them.
Who, the Silvernails or someone else?
I'm pitching that to Miss Corbin and Miss Fritter, essentially. Like, that's what we should do since they're seemingly on our trail, and it would be maybe a good way to what's the term? Not decompose. That's really more dark. Incapacitate.
Mushroom talk.
Yeah.
I know, right? Incapacitate us.
So do you want us to bring mushrooms with us to use defensively?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right. So what is Preacher doing during all this?
Yes. Oh yeah, just put them in a sack, and then if we need to, we just throw them.
Matter of
The
fact,
entire thing.
why don't we just do it now?
Throw them at what now?
He just points out if they're still around, I assume.
You hear the echoes of the hoof prints on the other side of the buildings. Looks like they're making rounds in this area. They're not coming up to where you all were, but they are definitely down in the road, and will be something that mechanically you will have to deal with on the way out, or if for some reason we're to call them in here by virtue of the clock, that's how they're going to come in.
Fill your lamplight if they're down there. If we haven't already done that yet.
Maybe we could, if they're noxious, we just drop them over the side and they hit the ground and make a nice, lovely little.
Yeah, but then
present.
they're definitely going to know something's up. Mushrooms aren't just going to fall from the sky.
Not if they're dead.
I feel like we're going to have to catapult mushrooms to get all of them if we do that.
We don't know how long it's going to
Yeah.
take. Could
On the
be
planet.
poisonous. Could be they're dead in a minute. Poisonous could be they could be incapacitated in hours, and they'll still be fighting. So it's a good thing to have in our pocket, but I'm unsure how they will be.
All right.
I
That's a
like
good
it.
idea.
I think
but
it's a great idea.
But that's a good idea if we need
Yeah.
it. We do need it.
So I will definitely retain mushrooms, to have easy access to that aren't in my collection supplies.
Preacher, you notice that as they're collecting mushrooms and walking around, if the air could get colder, it begins to get colder, as you all are now kind of in one spot for a little while. And as you look up and you see within the gray, ashy snow that falls, there's also spirits that are kind of hovering about and kind of starting to make the rounds, just like Death Seeker crows, as they kind of hone in on your position.
That was going to be my action, actually, was to use my mask. Since I have acquired the ability, as of last game here, to hide our spiritual presence.
I don't remember that.
It's nicely,
I have it
nicely
in the
written in my
notes.
notes. So,
Certainly wasn't a clip when that happened.
Fuck
I'm
yeah,
like-
Mass Effect 2. Peter's just like.
I
Been able
like
to play
to
Mass Effect
attune to my fine spirit mask to
Okay.
invoke this property upon our party.
All right. So I'll give you the choice. Would you like to roll a tune, or would you like to simply push yourself to make this happen?
Let's roll for it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Come on, preacher, let's go.
So even as the clouds and spirits fade in and around, as per our usual score, a 6 is rolled. So what happens? What the you see the spirits as they start to gather around, and preacher does what?
Places the mask upon his face, which instantly begins to just interlace into his own flesh as it grips tighter. The pale removed from his eyes as he just severs that tie from the spiritual realm to this physical realm from them, essentially masking us from their presence as if we were never there.
The spirits that are around you howl in rage, and as if a meal that they had planned on eating has gotten away, and you hear that frustration and anger in their screams as they dissipate out into the night. And yet that scream calls another being. So you all keep collecting mushrooms. You're gathering some things. And what is the mood? What is the feeling?
Man, I don't feel like this should take us very long, right?
No,
like we
it doesn't.
should be done by now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
GTFO is the
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's
she's
the mood.
yeah.
that's the mood.
absolutely. So
Make
as
sure
you
we
start,
have what we
yeah,
have.
as you start to collect your bags, preacher, where are you down there with them, or are you still up kind of on the second floor balcony looking over everything? Where are you?
I would like to say that I was probably up higher with a better vantage point.
Okay.
I'd like to be up there too.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so both of you two are up there. Miss Corbin and Miss Fritter are down collecting mushrooms. I think there is bags are full. You're able to get some extras and kind of that. I see that moment where you have everything you need and you like raise up the bag and you know maybe the first time someone smiles on this whole blessed occasion. There's actually a smile.
I've been smiling the whole time, baby.
There's a smile from someone besides eyes. Let's put it like that. And
I like that.
eyes, as you smile, you also notice, you kind of look down at them and you make one more look up, and over top of the building, crawling in a very feline-like fashion, is this pitch black, almost like set of nightness. It is a feline figure as it prowls over the side of the building across from you all. So it's on the other side of the courtyard and starts to make its way down. I don't even think that you may not have even seen it at first, except it moves, and it moves in an inky blackness that you can't even really tell. Like you have to be staring at it to figure out what it is. And you both staring up there, you with preacher with the spirits,
Yeah,
and
I
you
just like grab him. Yeah.
with the physical,
Point it out.
you see this thing for the first time. So this is what I'm calling a spirit panther. They are animals that were trapped out in the Lost District, and they are fueled by spirits of rage. And the spirits that are raging now have gone, since they cannot find you in spiritual form, they have taken on the possession of this panther and are trying to track you down in a physical form. This thing is probably 4 foot tall, 6 foot long, it just slinks within the shadow itself. Looks like it's made of shadow, and it says its eyes are very, very large, as if to grasp the tiniest bit of light that it can, and track down flesh. And I think you smile real big and think that everything's going to be good, and that's when this thing looks up at you in a deep throaty growl, and its mouth widens into an impossible level, almost straight up and down, as jagged teeth start to come out.
My smile kind of deepens a little bit as like the adrenaline really starts to kick in, and like my like where like I may still, while I still be maybe physically hurt, the adrenaline has just taken over, and it's like, well, that's you're gonna have to tell me a story about that some other time, Breach. And I grab my grappling hook, and I'm going to woof, 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 and there's another building the farthest away from all the bad guys, and try to create like a sort of a road bridge for us.
Okay, so we're going to go into action phase, so to speak. So let's figure out who would be doing what. I will give the first one to Eyes as he kind of propelled the action. Does anyone have anything that would put them first in initiative order? I don't think any of you do. I know there's that tactic out there. So
the only thing I could think of is if I had my lightning hook, can I actually throw the lightning hook?
yes, act like a lightning spear for all I care. That's fine. This thing is this thing is basically coming down the side of the building in between where Miss Corbin and Miss Fritter are and where you all are. So it's trying to get between you all as to not fight all of you at once.
So since I don't know if they have seen it yet,
I'm going to say no at this point. Once you all take an action, then they will have seen it.
so I'm going to lift that hook, and that lightning begins to trail down the course of it. It's just going to step up and put it like 1 foot on the rail as that mask takes over, and like, the smoke's pouring out of the eyes, and he's going to lean back and throw it as hard as he can.
Okay. So Eyes, go ahead and roll to see how you're going to get the grappling hook over there and make sure it's going to work. Let's see what happens with there. And Preacher, go ahead and roll for, I don't know if that's going to be a skirmish, a prowl, a hunt even. And then Miss Corbin and Miss Fritter, tell me what you all are going to do as you kind of look up to see the mood change very quickly, and Preacher's lightning hook go flash over to probably your right hand side as you see the creature come to life.
I'm going to say it's a skirmish because I'm trying to hold the line there to keep that panther away from them, or at least alert them that it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to push myself for this one too.
Okay.
I will also push myself as well.
All right.
So risky standard.
Yes.
And that bonus die. And 6.
6 city, bitch. 6 city, bitch.
I don't understand.
How you doing, Nate?
You were confident with the double 2s. We have you right where we want you.
You all always roll. There's one roll each. There's one roll. Everything that's bad, and I can never truly punish you on. And the
We
rest of the rolls
haven't
are all
rolled
6.
yet. You're forcing us.
There's been a 6. There's been a 6, but every other numbers in those things has
All the
been
other numbers
super
are
low.
Yeah.
Like
We are not
barely,
going to roll well because he's put this out there in the universe.
We have barely gone through. Just look at the.
All right.
All these
So we're
rolls.
going to give this the spirit panther. The spirit panther is going to be 6. Is going to be a 6-turn clock, and Preacher, you make a dash down as you fling this lightning hook and hit him, basically right in front of him. I can see sparks flying off, and kind of shocking him. Or you're trying to basically form a barrier, or make it stop. Yes.
Yeah, because I know it's got the drop on them.
Okay.
So
absolutely. So what you all see is Miss Fritter and Miss Corbin. You all see this Preacher's lightning hook go out, and now you're able to firmly identify where this creature is and what's going on with it. If you want to, whatever action you take, I'll give you a +1, and then we'll go ahead and deal it one square, one section of damage, so to speak.
Oh, wait, so his damage is only one portion of damage?
Yes, because I'm also giving you all a +1 on your die for what you are doing. This thing is not. It is a tier above you.
Awesome.
We're
That's
fucking
great.
gone, bro.
What about Jason's damage for Jason's roll?
Well, Eyes was not rolling to damage. Eyes was rolling to.
I was setting up our getaway.
Oh
Yeah,
shit, that's right.
Was doing the getaway, so you can. So appreciate that, but
Well, fuckity fuck sticks.
all
I did both at the same time. I also have a lightning hook.
right. So preacher, the lightning hook flashes down, clearly illuminating this cat, and I think that this thing absolutely hates this lightning, as that is a bygone era of a time before it was even born to see anything born of lightning at this point, and it shrieks back with that cat-like just nasty anger as it not quite that as it flashes back. All right,
Roar!
so I roar.
Wow.
I'm upset at you.
It's not that kind of panther. All right. 60% of the time works every time. All right. So, Eyes, tell me about this grappling hook shot and how it works.
So I'm assuming I did this because Jacob and Eyes are very surprised at the lightning hook situation. I was like, well, we'll be, it'll be nice and quiet. Like, that's cool, but fuck all that. That's a story for another time. And then so I'm just like, and assuming there's a kind of a center of the building across the way for us to kind of GTFO and then I spin around and I'm like almost like ready to be like, all right, we're ready to go. And then like, and I like literally like there's like a small utterance of just like, oh.
All right. So Miss Corbin and Miss Fritter, you clearly see this this thing flash now before you. What would you like to do?
Do we have any knowledge of spirit panthers and what can hurt them? Because
I mean, it's not common knowledge, no.
yeah.
If you would like to call for a flashback and take a stress, I'll let you roll something.
Fuck no, not for a fucking spirit panther thing. I'll just shoot it. I don't care. Like,
all right.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna. I have a pistol.
Okay. So mark off a pistol.
Yeah, I'll say I have a pistol. Is this a wreck? Because I do really well with wrecks.
Wreck a place item obstacle, savage or carefully applied savage, breach defenses with force, create distractions and chaos.
What else would it be, Nathan?
If you are, I tell you what you're doing. If you are not shooting at it, if you're shooting at something else and trying to make like crap fall on it,
Be a pro.
then I would use wreck. Like if you're trying to shoot at parts of the stone and make stone fall on it, I think that's perfectly fine as a wreck because there are consequences to that. If you are trying to hunt or prowl, or if you're going to get up close to it, skirmish.
Sure, I'll do skirmish. Totally fine.
Okay.
Risky and standard. I'm
Yep, risky and standard.
gonna push myself. No, I'm not because I already have 3 pit. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna push myself because this is stressing me the fuck out. I got a 5. So what's my?
All right, so
What's my problem?
a 5. It's almost no fun when you expect it to happen. A 5 will get you 1 pip on the Spear Panther. You hit it. I think what you do is you hit it, but the shot rings out louder than what you think it is, and you hear it absolutely rings out to where the silver nails are hearing it, and you hear from outside the way you came. Voices basically calling, they're in there, they're over here, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna mark 1 on the Horse Lords cometh.
I'm so sorry.
And you are very close.
Not.
You're
I'm
also
so sorry.
very close to this kitty cat. All right,
Fuck this kitty cat.
Miss Corbin, what are you doing?
Well, she was about to do the she heard the noise like she was her guns like this isn't. We need these mushrooms, and she's gonna have to go and grab that lance that's on the ground and just try and like either hurt this thing and get at least hopefully like scare it away if she can.
Okay, so you're gonna
Like
attack it.
Yeah, with this lightning lance.
All right.
Crazy.
What is that gonna be?
I mean, she can't outrun it. She knows for damn well that this thing is way faster than she is.
Yeah.
Skirmish, I think.
Okay.
And you know, I'm gonna push myself. I got some. All right, what is it? This is desperate. I'm guessing this is. Is this desperate? I'm fighting. This is a.
Well, this is risky at this point because you are still kind of in control or you're on even footing.
Yeah.
For now.
After this, it will not be.
Yeah. Okay. Standard.
Yes, standard.
All right. Let's see. Come on. Oh no.
Oh, no.
See. Wait. I have one more. I forgot to put the bonus in there. Sorry. For push.
Yeah, make it dramatic.
Oh God!
no.
Oh. That was
That's
no help.
fucking awesome.
That was no help. Oh,
All right.
Holy
See,
shit.
you said all that horrible shit about them rolling well, and it came back on us.
This is a desperate
yes.
move by Miss Corbin. So like this is
Yeah.
This is about.
So risky are things go badly, you suffer harm, a complication occurs, or you end up in a desperate position, or you lose the opportunity. So I think I'm going to put you in a desperate position. So you grab this lightning hook and start to wield it, but it's just not something it's not like your sword or daggers or anything like that. It's large and wieldy, and the end of it's like a Roman candle on the end of it, shooting sparks and all kinds of stuff. So what you think is you're going to be able to like scare this thing off. This thing just kind of, without even blinking, is basically like ran around the other side of you. So as you're trying to fight it here, it's already like anticipating your movement and running around to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to do a harm to you, but I am going to put that you're in a desperate situation.
Okay, that's fine.
And
That's
I'm also going to mark up the horse lords.
Uh-oh.
I can do.
That's 2 pips on them.
That's 2 pips on them. You hear the sounds of the hoofs, like trying to scrabble up the rock that you all tried to scrabble up earlier. So they're like trying to make their horses go into the same way you all came.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the top. Eyes, you hear the sound of what sounds like horses coming up on the rocks behind you. It's going to take them a little bit to get up there, but they definitely sound like they're coming up here.
So, I can't see them. I can only see the Panther and Miss Corbin. But I can hear them coming. The
Yes.
thundering herd, if you will.
Yeah, from where you are, you can't see the silver nails, but you hear them.
All right. What do I want to do? He'll just like he'll sigh and like, all right, and he'll come over this side and look at the lovely panther spirit thingy, and I'll actually say out loud, Miss Corbin, I'm gonna need this back, and I'm gonna throw the spirit dagger.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Do you want to do anything else as well? So, Miss Corbin, that dagger will actually give you a +1 to its either effect or a die, whatever one you choose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I bring up
Whoever
something?
has it.
Yeah.
Can I bring up something?
Yeah. What?
Neither one of them got their +1 die for my action.
Ah.
So I don't know how you want to handle that.
Let's make it more dramatic. More dice, more dice, more dice.
I say we each just roll a d6.
Yeah. that's essentially what happened last time, right? Yeah.
All right. Roll a d6. Let's see what happens.
Nate's like, that's okay. You're still going to suffer. I rolled a 2. That did not help me.
Yep.
Do I roll a d6?
Yep. Go ahead and
Hashtag
roll the
suffering.
d6.
All right.
Lynn.
I mean, honestly, it can't be worse than that. All right, d6, come on.
Holy
Oh, holy!
Holy shit. Okay.
So just assume I said nothing.
Okay. and everything was exactly as
This
it was.
was.
Okay.
All right.
So,
We flashback to a minute and a half ago, and we
Right.
keep going forward.
Yep. So, I'm. Oh God.
So, Preacher, do you know what you're going to do as well?
I have an idea. Yes.
Okay.
So, all right. I'm going to actually. I'm gonna wait till they're in eye shot,
Okay.
and I'm going to draw two pistols, and
The
let's
silver,
say,
the silver nails.
yeah,
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you're basically kind of readying action in some way. Okay.
yep. Yeah,
So am I
that's-
able to get the dagger from?
Yes, you're able to pick up
Yeah,
the dagger.
Can I throw the lance toward Miss Fritter?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. If
Sure.
you want her-
Yeah.
We have gas masks on still. We cannot communicate clearly. I just also
Yeah.
feel like that needs to be.
Yeah. Well, I think she's like tossed. She's like,
That explains our ones.
yeah.
All right, Preacher, what are you doing?
Oh, they just gave me such an idea.
Okay.
Mm.
You said there was mushrooms down here, the ones that were the poisonous ones?
Mm-hmm.
You're upstairs, though, right?
Doesn't
Yeah, I
matter.
mean,
Let me call upon my Tempest ability, and I will summon a roaring wind, which is going to disturb these mushrooms, and will press all these spores in the direction of this panther.
okay. All right. So you take 2 strain to call this Tempest ability, and then what are you going to use to I guess what attribute are you going to use to make this happen?
Let's see here.
Is this a tune? Because you're kind of control. I can see a tune in this because you're controlling a spirit-given form.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that too.
Or what do you think?
Yeah, the other ones don't really make a lot of sense to me, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Because you're not really attacking. You're more using your powers.
I'm using the environment more
Right.
than anything I am
Yeah.
in particular. Yeah, I think I'll use the attune.
Make sure you get an extra die or effect because of the mask.
Perfect. Still risky standard.
Yep.
+1 die.
Come on, dice.
And then after this, we're going to go to Miss Corbin.
Thank
That's
God.
a crit.
Okay.
There it is.
Pretty much only you tonight. Just so we're all clear.
I am your savior.
Preachers do, so it's all good.
Yeah, I was too after last time.
I was
right.
like, last like 3 sessions, really. Oh man.
So a crit is going to be 3 sections.
On the Spirit Panther?
Yeah, Spirit Panther. So we're looking at. So
He
we
has
have
one
one
section
left. So explain to us what happens. You don't take him out, but he is. It is very. I say he. Sorry. It is very hurt, and is trying to back away. So tell me. Explain to us what happens cinematically.
Cinematically, I'd say Preacher, having been up like on one leg there on the edge of this, we'll call it like a railing or something, finally just stands up full blown on it and just raises his arms out as the wind begins to pour from his form, just pressing these mushrooms and dislodging all these spores from them, and just this creature's inhaling it, and it's down its lungs, down its throat. It's itching and clawing at itself, trying to get rid of it to be able to take some breath, just ripping itself at this point, and backpedaling away from it as best it can from this barrage.
Absolutely. Yeah, its face is matted with these spores as it kind of clings to him. You almost see him, maybe like an acid, looks like an acid is kind of eating away a little bit as these spores touch and blotch all over him, all over them. And they screech in anger and a hatred as only one can in this amount of pain. Miss Corbin, were you next? Or was Miss Fritter next?
Miss Fritter. I think it's Fritter.
Actually, no. Wait. Oh, no, you're right. Shit.
Oh boy.
But it's backing away, right? It's retreating.
It is backing away. Yes, if you wanted to let it go and use
I'm happy
this
to
turn.
let it go because we have other shit to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, unless
So-
anybody else needs to kill the thing.
No, I don't I mean,
Okay.
I have.
If we're good
No.
just letting it go, let's just let the bitch go.
Yeah, who wants to go?
So yeah, it starts to it's backing up as much as it can, almost kind of crab walking backwards onto kind of the rocks. You see, it has the ability to in some way latch onto the rocks themselves and kind of inverse climb up the sides of this
Ugh.
building a little bit.
Ooh, backwards climbing, not good. Ugh.
All right, so
That's
what are you
cool.
doing for your turn? The silver nails are coming through the front. They have not discovered you yet, but they will at this rate.
I'm gonna say let's GTFO and stand there, stand in the room to like fire on them if they get in before everybody gets out.
Okay. All right.
Question
Go ahead.
one more time. They said they're coming up a slope.
Yeah.
Is this like loose gravel?
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Is loose gravel and imagine a stone wall that's fallen over and then kind of decomposed over time. There's some solid points, but then there's a lot of loose gravel, and it's a freaking horse with hooves trying to climb up this thing. So yeah, it's definitely scrabbling.
Can I call upon my Tempest one more time?
Yeah, if you wanna, you take the
Yeah.
2 stress.
I'll take the stress. I'm going to summon torrential rains in that area to make that slippery slope just the worst to climb up,
Okay.
especially on a horse. So slick, loose rock, mud, just whatever I can to slow down their progress so these
Yeah.
can get
So
the
just
hell out of here.
explain what it looks like as you turn from the winds to the rain.
Just just turn and look up at the sky. I still got this fucking mask on, and it's creepy as hell. Sort of like lift my hand to the sky, and almost like with a renewed vigor, because it's like another person has taken over this flesh at this point. Lift my arm to the sky, and just rake down this like lightning as it comes, and just splits the sky, and ozone begins to fill the air. And the wind picks up, and then the rain begins to pour down, just like a deluge, down onto the slope.
Absolutely. Miss Corbin, while this is going on, what are you doing?
She's just trying to get out of like this get up to where her crew is, I think. She doesn't want to fight this thing, and she wants to get in a position where we can leave right away.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I think it's going to take one more roll, either a group action of some kind or individual rolls to use the grappling hook that Eyes has already put together. I'll give you a bonus die because you used a whole action to set that up, and it was a 6. So I feel like I should give you a bonus die on whatever you roll to kind of get out
I'll
of it.
take it.
If you all want to go out that way, if you want to go out the way that you came, the silver nails are there. You're more welcome to take those as well. So you all decide what you all want to do.
That's not a decision, I don't think.
Okay. I always want to present the options that are out there. All right. So is it
Sudden
going to
death? Not sudden death.
is it going to be a group action or individual?
What do you want us to do?
Group action.
Not you, Nate. I'm asking. I'm sorry. I'm looking at.
I want you to fail. I mean,
Yeah, you know you do.
That's totally fair.
I mean,
What
group
does
action.
Eyes want us to do?
I haven't done anything worthless yet. So I'm
This would probably be another prowl, right?
yeah, it would be.
I have lots of
prowl or
tips in there.
finesse.
God.
Not so many pips in finesse.
No, it's not finesse. I'm sorry.
I have max
Actually-
tips in
Actually, it might. No, finesse.
Finesse.
The description of finesse is
Except handle a vehicle or mount. I kind of
yeah.
If you all decide what you all want,
Yeah.
I'll let
What
it
are
be a
we
prowl
doing?
or finesse. I'll put
I'll
it in
do it.
y'all's hands.
Let's do it.
Who's leading?
I personally can't take any more stress. I cannot lead this.
I can
can
I
lead
can
this.
I can
I
lead
can
this.
lead it.
I can lead this because my prowl and finesse are garbage. So it's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So
That's good.
each one of you
We're
all
all rolling
will.
anyways.
Yeah.
We
Each
get one
one-
bonus die.
Yeah, you get one bonus die because he used an action earlier.
Oh,
Are
good.
we
I
using
can.
prowl or finesse?
You all have to choose.
I am using
Everyone
finesse
uses the
because it's
same
not
finesse?
hot garbage.
Everybody uses finesse.
Load up critical.
God, please help.
I got
Okay.
a 5.
That's
Okay.
still that's still a success. That's still a success. Okay, that's fine.
Preach.
All right. That was
Creature's been through some shit. It's okay.
honestly,
Yeah.
this is a good outcome because most of us succeeded.
Yeah.
All right. So there was a critical. Then there
Yeah.
was
Uh,
2 success with
Complication.
complications, and then there was a failure. So whoever's leading it, go ahead and take 1 stress.
Okay, that's
Um,
actually better than I was hoping. I was ready to take.
Eyes.
Okay.
How are you? How are you doing there,
Hey,
Eyes?
how are you?
So about that trauma, that reckless trauma,
Oh God.
how's that working for you right now? Would you like to gain an XP and take that critical off the table?
No,
Be reckless?
but I'm gonna do something I think a little more fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna take those shots regardless. So instead of just running away,
Okay.
got away, I'm going to I'm gonna aim at the horses.
Okay. So I tell you. So explain to us what happens as everyone. What does the shot look like as people as your crewmates are getting away and you're standing there before we roll?
I'm like on the corner of the building, and as the thanks to Preach, the rain is sort of hitting. Now no longer silent. I just say to myself, let's light them up.
So the Miss Corbin, Preacher, and Miss Fritter, you are able to. We're going to use the critical that he got, and you're able to get across that rope pretty easily, get up onto the next thing, and you're going to be good to go. Eyes, you take your shots. Let's roll to. I assume this is going to be skirmish or hunt. Which one would you like to use? You could use hunt just because it's attack with precision from a distance. Prowl is what, ambush? Ambush with close violence. That could be a prowl.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna prowl.
Okay.
But no extra dice this time, right? Just
No free dice, no.
Yeah, no free dice.
Realize before you roll this, you're the only one here. Your crew, you've allowed your crew to get away. So let's
I
see.
have. So this feels like a good opportunity for a devil's bargain.
Hell yeah. Hell yes.
Devil's bargain. Because of your distraction, and because of what's going on around you, Preacher is going away from you, and the mask, the masking effect, the cover that he has given you all against spirits will will have failed you. So you will now be able to be seen by spirits, which, if this roll goes poorly, could mean resistance rolls against spiritual possession and attacks.
I think that sounds fucking fun.
That sounds
That sounds terrible, but great as like a player.
Awful but fun.
Awful but fun. All right,
Right.
so that's one.
So I think
one
as
bonus dice.
you know that they're out of danger when you feel the presence of spirits around you again. That's kind of how you know. And I think even you just know. Let's put it like that. I almost said something, but glad I didn't.
Oh,
Double threes, double ones.
All right. So that's a failure. You take shots at them, and because of the rain, because of the downpour, because of everything, you shoot at the horses and you hear the shots pink off. What looks to be, well, they actually have armor on them of some kind, which is weird. But it does the intended purpose. It does what you want it to do. And then as you turn around with a big smile on your face, knowing what you've done, your vision goes solid white as a spirit attacks you.
Okay.
So we're going to need a resistance roll. Let me see which one it is. I think it's resolve.
That sounds about
Resistance
right.
roll
Yeah, mental
for
strain or
resolve.
willpower?
Yep,
Good.
resist consequences for mental strain or willpower as
Yep.
you try to fight off this spirit possessing you.
Okay.
5. All right, so you take 1 stress. You know that you're going to have to either have Preacher help you with this as you try to fight this thing off. You're in the midst of fighting it now, even as you speak. But you know that a spirit has kind of a tail on you at this point and will be trying to possess you. So we'll probably do one more possession roll here in a little bit to see it as you try to continue to fighting it off.
All right. Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So what happens after that? Where do you go?
I follow the yellow brick road.
Okay. All right. So I say from here on out, you're able to the downpour and the everything has kind of caused the silver nails to turn back. You're able to get up with your crewmates, and you all are able to rendezvous back with Days, and kind of push this forward.
One thing really fast.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yep.
To be crystal clear, I want them just to see the outline of my eyes.
Okay.
I would
the
like to
silver nails.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I think you hear them say something about spirit warded or something like that in their native tongue, but it sounds like almost like a cuss word. But yeah, you can definitely tell they saw your eyes.
Okay. That's all.
Let me look up possession because I haven't had to do that before. All right. So anybody want to do anything else before the score ends, as you're able to get back to Days? No.
I'll just say as we get back in the boat. So it seems I have a bit of a unwanted passenger on the way out.
a what?
Yeah, you took those pot shots, and it seems that got a little bit of unwanted spiritual attention, and so kind of feeling my heart a little flutter. It's not a great feeling, very icy. So I'm trying not to freak out.
Miss Corbin just looks at Preacher. It's like, can you help him?
Would my Demon Bane charm do anything in this instance?
No, a Spirit Bane charm would.
I have one actually.
Yeah, usually people keep one. I think you
I have
have
one
one
too.
as well.
So can I attune somehow to that charm to force this whatever it is that's chasing him away?
So I'll give you a choice.
Okay.
I love choices. You can do one of two things. You can attempt to do this here which will be up to the roll, and bad things could happen if bad things are rolled. Or as a downtime action, I would let eyes take a downtime action and allow it to be done automatically. We can play out how that works. So I'll give you the choice of what you all want to do.
I want to roll.
You want to roll?
We
Yeah.
can't.
Okay, let's roll it then.
If we take it back here, it's just going to follow. It has a taste of him.
So this is happening in the boat on the way back over. Days is trying to look and got the big happy face that y'all are back and everybody's good with some scratches and cuts and bruises like they normally do, no big deal. But you all look harrowed as hell. But then as soon as he sees the seriousness on the face, he kind of cuts.
I'm sorry, I
Right.
got this vision from like the Batman movie. I'm so sorry, like of Scarecrow.
That's
Like,
that's
she screams and he cries.
I dig that.
Because I still have that mask on. So, do you want me to
Okay.
roll in a tune for this? Or...
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tune.
And I have +1 for the mask.
Yes.
Can I assist?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna
Me too.
coach in the way that I just look at eyes and says, "You better focus. Listen to what he does, because you don't want whatever this thing is wearing your skin and
Yeah,
knowing
eyes.
where your boy is."
Yeah, eyes. You don't want any spirits wearing your skin.
Make sure you get my assist. Whoever is rolling.
You have an assist as well.
Like everything like that Miss Corbin says, like the first half of that is like whatever until right at the end, and the grin sort of falls off.
Okay, so I will take hold of Eyes' hands, stare into his eyes, and say, "Let the power flow through you, but do not grip it, only borrow it. Do you understand?" And it's like isn't even his voice coming out of him at this point. How many dice do I
Yeah.
get? 3 dice now?
3. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
We don't want him to be possessed.
There's a lot of
See what happens.
possibilities.
There's a lot of
And it's
Could be a lot of
a
ones.
preacher,
especially
and,
right now.
preacher and I sort of go into that upside down world there for a moment.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Wow.
I just my eyes just like went to
One,
the
two,
ones and the
one.
two.
Yeah.
Me too, mine too.
Yeah, same.
I almost didn't even see the sticks at all.
So it works. You a preacher. How do you know you have? How do you know you've driven the spirit away?
I say we almost lure it to us, honestly. Sort of let Eyes, if you would, open himself up to being attacked almost at this point. And as it nears, I'll just like grab 2 vials of this ectoplasm and just begin to hurl at it, letting it know that, we're in charge and it only seeks destruction should it chase further.
Eyes from your viewpoint, the glow. As the spirit gets closer and closer, the glow in your eyes gets deeper and brighter, until for a split second, as preacher begins to call a call to the spirit, your eyes go dark for a split second, and then the spirit that preacher wants to call comes forth and begins to hurl, and the preacher's attention immediately turns to that spirit as it physically tries to push him away, and your eyes continue to glow again. No
I'll
one.
say to the spirit,
Go ahead.
like, as like before the preacher goes to dismiss it, I'll just kind of like almost like in a whispering tone, I'll just say, "Do you know me?"
The spirit calls back a rage and anger, almost like that was mimicked in the panther, and it just screams its head off as it flees from you.
Pity.
And so, with that, you all are able to make it back to the port, and Days helps you all unpack as you're able to kind of get back out into Dustfall proper. The lights, within a few meters, the lights of the electroplasm fence line, the lightning barrier start to flicker back. The noises come back that you all are used to hearing. The stress and anxiety is still there, but it leaves your body for a little bit as you realize that you're back to the thing that you're used to. You're back to home. And so, as we leave each other for the night, what are you all doing? What's going on? We can start. Let's start with Eyes. You've had the kind of the most harrowing experience here. What is Eyes doing as you go into downtime?
I'll start where I began. Pour a drink for Preach. And what would I do without you?
Probably wouldn't be mixed up in this terrible existence that we're in now.
It's more on Miss Corbin, really, to be honest with you. So
You're not wrong there. You can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
And it's a little personal.
Anything.
How long are you going to stick around with your son in this predicament?
You know, I knew the answer to that. You'd actually know already. But if I'm being very honest with you, I think it's only a matter of time. But for now, it's still fun.
Can you do me a favor? And I guess that I'm not going to make you promise it because I can't make you promise it exactly.
Yeah.
If you have a moment at any time where you can take your family and go. Before long, before long, it all becomes like a drug to them too. And then they won't want to leave or they'll want to be a part of it.
I think we're there though. Darlene's involvement last time. I think Joseph's kind of building a hero complex in his mind about me, which is both good and bad, I guess. I don't know. But I know the answer is when it's not worth it anymore. And you know, for a moment there, even before this, I was leaning towards that being the case. We'll see what happens. Don't tell anyone though.
Eyes. I once said this was my family. And I think one of our family members has gone behind my back. And now,
What if I said that's probably true, but it wouldn't be the first time. But it's the first time that it upset you.
sort of put back the whiskey.
Mhm. Seems like you also have a decision to make too.
I gotta decide whether I want to go kill my son or not.
Well, that would certainly make me saving his life be off the table. Like, you gotta at least make sure that I have that one up on you always.
Once he turns his back on what we had together, does that still make him my son?
Yeah, it always will. 100%. But that is how this gets so complicated, right? And hey, if it makes you feel better, I'll take the shot. Hell, I'll go do it right now if you want.
You know, he took the proverbial bullet for me before.
Yeah, see again, if you kill him, then I'm at +0. I kill him, it's +2. Man, remember when I didn't want to murder anybody? Oh, it seems so long ago.
And it's kind of odd for me to sit here and have a conversation with you where you're actually endorsing the idea of.
I don't know if I'd go so far as endorse it, but I understand it. But it's easier when it's not my kid. I kind of already almost killed it. Never mind, that's a story for another time.
Just sort of quirk a brow at that.
I just grin.
Yeah, to the syndicate.
For better or for fucking worse.
Where does the camera find Miss Corbin at this time? Muted.
Oh, I guess it can probably be shortly after that conversation with
Okay.
Ives and Preacher, and I think she's going to, after Ives makes an exit, just goes out to Preacher. It's like, things going south with your boy.
You know, Miss Corbin, I don't know that we ever really were a father-son.
Still going to Charter Hall. Still.
I mean, in theory, yes. He makes an appearance there. He's not there for school, though.
Unfortunate, but you seem to have some misgivings about the mission.
I mean, granted, it's probably one of the worst places we could possibly go.
Yes. But it's valuable. And it doesn't seem like I know it doesn't seem like a lot, and I have been itching for something a little more high profile and lucrative, and then we do this, right?
Can I ask you a potentially really dumb question?
Yeah, no dumb questions.
It seems like every time we go out, you throw us to something more and more difficult, more and more dangerous.
Well, that is the way the game is played. You do more, you have to reach higher or else you stagnate, and then someone else takes that place and you fall behind or die.
Yeah, but I mean, what is the point where we're going to start growing? Having new members. But I don't think you're going to take yourself off that front line.
I like to have that control. At least if I know if I'm there, at least I can try my hardest. And I know it'll go correctly.
Yeah, okay, but
There's a little bit of a rush also. Let's not be untruthful about it.
I was going to say, is it a death wish? Are you looking for something to finally conquer you?
No. I just have a wish to make sure things go right, because these missions, these jobs that we do are not the dangerous part. The dangerous part is coming.
This vendetta that you have.
Yes.
I don't know how or why it's so personal to you, and I don't really care, I'll be honest.
Good.
Whatever you need from me, I will provide to my best of my ability.
Oh, that's good to hear. And that's why I asked, and that's why I took this heist. Because it's not the mushroom. The mushrooms are incidental. Like, we'll get a little bit of the colony plant, a little bit of a sprouting for our own, but small coin. But I know that there is someone sticking their fingers in and around Charter Hall. Somebody with vast amounts of resources and is trying to pull something, and getting more information on who is doing this is honestly what took my attention. And I have information that someone I think might be involved is running a little bit of has a little bit of faction going in with Charter Hall dropouts. And this might involve, if your boy is dissatisfied, has fallen in, this might be something that he might be useful with or culpable in.
I think one of you's already gotten to him at this point, I'll be honest with you. So you might want to speak to the person who has that sway on him, because it's not me.
Oh, I know. I've spoken to that person before, I think. If my instinct on this is correct, and who's been having two fairly high profile nobles running around the same place is probably not what's happening. It's probably one person. If it's the same person, it's that person. That it's probably Farnsworth. And if he's pulling the thing I have information on, oh, it involves your boy. Does that dissuade you?
Hezekiah, as I says, maybe my son. But the moment he walked out the door, he became my enemy.
And they say blood's thick. That's unfortunate. We did save him from the demon.
Eyes knew of something going on with Hezekiah. You knew of something going with Hezekiah. And I know Fritta knows something about something going on with Hezekiah.
So I have your permission to snoop around, see what he's dealing with.
On one condition.
Yes.
Tell Miss Fritter to please return my lightning hook and tell it's a hell of a lot better weapon than giving some child some revolver. And if you do that, you can gut the son of a bitch for look for anything you want inside of him.
Maybe that's something you should do. But I already have that vendetta already.
When the time comes, I'll pull the trigger. I brought him around here. I brought him around us. It's my duty to finish that.
And they say the bond between children is unbreakable, so, well, I will not deny you that privilege. And I'll do what you said.
Good.
Well, have a good night. Survived one out there? And to our continued success.
You're going to go far in this. I don't know where the rest of us are going to end up in the process, but this syndicate is yours to lead.
Well, I hope that it brings success for all of us. Because I think we're going to need all of us. We're going to make this work.
I'll be there till my last breath.
Well, I hope that's a long time coming then. I hope it's a long time coming for all of us.
Okay. Camera slowly pans out. Breaks back in on the boat again with Days helping you all get all your stuff off and moving things along and kind of staying back to say that he's going to take care of the boat. And the camera shows him just as quickly as you all move around the corner, going over to a side place where they've stacked up a bunch of carts and boxes and all that kind of stuff, and as quickly as he can taking some stuff out, bags and sundries from there, and grabbing them and taking them right back into the boat. And patiently he waits. Who arrives?
Not long after we got off the boat and we went our separate ways, Fritter had clothes stashed nearby and returns to the boat to Days, laying out the maps that they had been looking at, that she and Edie had been evaluating. Fritter is not dressed in normal gear. She is in sailing gear and fully prepared for a voyage. And she will look at Days. Are you ready? Do you have what you need?
Yeah, I got everything you told me to bring.
Okay. Someone else will approach one of her kids, and she'll take a few things out of her pockets, and the lightning rod is laying nearby, of course, but she'll give a few letters to the kid, and you have your instructions, you know what to do. Okay. All right.
As they walk off, Days looks as if he's going to unhook the rope and looks at you one more time and says, "Are you sure about this?"
Kill the lights. Make sure the motor's low.
And just as quickly, you're off. All our last scene for the night begins as a flashback a few days ago. Dinar Farnsworth sits reclining at his table, drinking his wine, as he looks up and sees Miss Fritter leaving his presence. A servant that was working nearby scurries and kind of picks up the chess pieces and puts them all back into place. He takes a slow drink and then lays the glass down on the table. Kind of gets a faraway look and says, well, well, well. Guess we'll have to remove one of these pieces from the board. And gets up, and as he does, he puts his finger on the queen chess piece and knocks it over. And walks off into the daytime. And we flash to him walking straight into the police headquarters in Silkshore. In Crowsfoot. He walks through, people, the bluecoats are around, they see him, they kind of go to stop him because he obviously doesn't belong, but he's been here enough times by now that they know to let him pass, that if they get in his way, it's going to be hell to pay. He walks directly into Captain Valletta's office without knocking on the door, opens the door and steps inside. There are two sergeants sitting there with her as she's discussing something, and Farnsworth looks at the sergeants and says, leave us. And without even a question, they get up and walk away. Valletta pours a drink for herself and for him, and he walks over slowly, doesn't even sit down. He walks over to a board where there's characters of people up on the board as he looks, and he looks them over, and he says, this one's new. Doesn't quite fit the rest, but I understand. He looks over and says, so what are you going to do about them? And Valletta says, we're trying to get, before she can even say anything, Farnsworth cuts her off and says, I did not put you in this position to try. You know the instructions I gave you. Can you not even handle that? Valletta constantly is giving some excuses and things like that, and Farnsworth's eye slowly scans all the pages. He finally rests his eye on one of the pictures, and he tears it off the wall. And a quick pull, takes it over to Valletta's desk and sets it down in front of her, spins it around and slides it her way and says, this is the one. Take care of this one, and the rest will fall. And Valletta says, but we don't have anything. Farnsworth again cuts her off. It doesn't matter what you have. It matters what we do. Take care of them, and I'll take care of the rest. And without a second glance, turns around and walks out. And that's where we're going to stop. Episode 5, Embers in the Ashes. All right, so thank you all for joining us, for hanging out with us, for checking us out here live, for checking us out on YouTube later on down the road. Again, a great score that is heavy with personal drama, and as I noted in our own individual chat, the irony drips here like honey. It is sweet to a DM, and I cannot wait to see what I can do with it when we do downtime session next week. But I'm Nathan. I've been your narrator. I use he, him pronouns. You can find me at Not Another Nate on Twitter. We'll go around and introduce ourselves again and let Josh lead us out on his merry way into what can only be happy consequences for another night. It's amazing how many victories this crew pulls, and yet defeat seems right around the corner, maybe even from their own internal machinations, which clearly I just help along. They're doing all this themselves. All right, let's go. Lynn, you were our end note last time. Let's start with you this time. Say who you are, what you've been doing, and what you've been up to.
Hi, I'm Lynn, she, her, and I've been playing Miss Corbin, the team's spider. And you can catch me Flying Cirrus on Twitter, where I have my art and where I play. Next time you probably see me is on Saturday on Twitch.tv at Level Up Dice, where I'm playing on a Scion game called Birth of New Gods, where I play Kitsune Godling, and we are all having to travel and find people and meeting our parents, and that's been super, super interesting. Our God.
Absolutely, that's awesome. All right, and Saevrick.
Hi. I was expecting to go last. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Was it-
you always get on me when I make you go last, and
Oh,
then
I-
I try not to. See,
I
I'm
was-
trying to be better at it.
It threw me off. Hi, I'm Saevrick. I've been your player and your best friend this evening. So you can find me here, of course, Twitch.tv as Saevrick, or on Twitter at Saevrick. We have this game on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. On Saturday, we have our Star Wars D20 set in the KOTOR universe, which has quite an episode coming up. I'm really excited to get it started because it's going to be a rompus. Otherwise, on March 12th, we have over on So Maddie Games channel. It's going to be every other Friday. We're going to be playing a little bit of Dragonlance. I'm going to be running a short series of the game, and it's going to be called Death Knights of Krynn. So I'm very excited to get started with that. So keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. All right, and Hannah.
I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at StopLittleWoman. I've been delighting you this evening with our group's cutter, Miss Fritter. She basically just likes to scramble. So everything that Josh said is true for me too. You can find me at all those dates and times, including the Dragonlance campaign. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you.
All right, sounds good. And Jacob.
Hi, it me. Oh my god, I have so many questions. Hey everybody, Jacob here. Do welcome Jacob on the internet. Twitter, Instagram, all that good shit. I have a link tree with all the links and the stuff. This week is particularly wild because tomorrow on twitch.tv/D&D Jordan Lee, I'll be running a D&D 5e one-shot for some charity stuff. And then on Saturday, I'll be playing in a game as well. And then Sunday is Duval and Dragons episode 14, which is, oh my god, that's crazy. That's been going for 14 episodes. And shit's getting fucking crazy over there. Maddie's character got eaten by a Bahir, which was really fun. And like there's fan art of it, which is like super fucking surreal. So go check that out. So yeah, it's gonna be a good, ridiculous second half of the week. So but this is my favorite game.
All right, and it's amazing you have questions. I have lots of questions too, and I'll have to see how it pans out in the end. I don't have any clue. Saber, you want to take us out?
Sure. I don't know how to exactly because whole night has been thrown off.
I forgot to plug one other thing.
No.
I started a company called the
Sorry, we
Amphitheater.
moved on.
Nope, too late. I'm taking the reins back. Devil's bargain. I'll do it again.
It's
I
like
swear to
we're
God.
out.
We're out of here.
I said good day, sir.
I said good day, sir. Anyway, so because I'm bad at plugging stuff, so I wanted to make sure I did that because I have
Absolutely.
people relying on that. So yeah. Anyway. Also, Black Lives Matter. Trans lives are human rights. So there you go. Cool.
What's
Side roll of
the
dice.
name of your company?
The Amphitheater.
There we go. I don't know if you even said that or not. I just heard that you
I did.
started one. Okay.
I did. But I'll say it again and again and again. Because why not? Try me
I'm gonna say I have to shout my F you to somebody. F you, Joe Biden, for not fucking committing to your campaign promises, you fucking
fair.
piece of shit. I mean, yeah, you're better than another piece of shit, but you're not doing too great right now.
Right. Like you're just a smaller, less stinkier piece of shit.
Yes.
Thanks.
You're a petrified piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Is that an old joke? I don't. Anyway.
Motherfucking consequences.
Do better.
Right?
Do better.
Motherfucking consequences. That's all we're gonna say.
You can be a one-term president too, Joe Biden.
We coming at that ass.
We vote against you next time.
Bitch.
Wow, this is.
These threats brought to you by Hannah and Jacob.
Our political podcast coming soon.
I would so listen to that too.
Yes.
I would so fucking listen to that.
Just rant.
Yeah. It's like that whole.
Block grants are important, you stupid, narrow-minded Reagan-era piece of shit. That's
It's like
just how it would be.
Just like an extended, like Peter Griffin, like what grinds my gears episode. You know what really grinds my gears?
I really grind my gears.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a good ending.
Yeah, perfect.
I think
I
we
love
can
it.
sign off now.
So you all have a lovely night, and we will catch you hopefully next week here. So
You better be here. We got downtime ridiculousness.
Oh God. Oh.
yeah, it's be our what?
Last week was crazy.
I guess technically be our penultimate downtime, right? Because we have this one, and then we have one in episode 8, and then
We had
9,
12
10.
episodes last time. What are you doing to me right now?
No,
Yeah, I was like panicking. I was like,
Wait.
what's happening?
no, our downtime. Because we have this downtime, we have a score, we have a downtime, we have score. And that'll be the end of the season. So
I'm not ready for that.
No,
Down to down.
I
I
reject
refuse.
so
You said-
this. We
Think
have not
extra-
agreed to this.
think extra
I'm-
carefully about your downtime coming up next week. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I already have my first one ready.
Resist this consequence.
Yeah.
I have a
Can
person
you?
who took visit.
Can it's? We know that NPCs can be hurt and killed in downtime.
Yeah,
Can
that's true.
Yeah,
can,
they
We
can.
can.
No,
They sure can.
Can PCs be hurt and killed in downtime?
That's a
Abso-freaking-lutely.
that's a great question. Off the
If
board.
it's your choice, again, we've said this from the start. If
Yeah.
it's your choice, then abso-freaking-lutely anything can happen.
I don't know. I'm not.
We
I'm not
die
thinking
between
about it,
episodes.
so.
Yeah, hey, again, this is, you all are driving your individual characters. What we said from the start is this is going to be character focused and character driven. So you all drive the decision on where your PCs end up, and I'm in for whatever. Let's make it happen. So that should tell you all you need to know about this group and where we're going. I have no clue where it's going to go. There is no end consequence. There is no end thought, because they
Who's
all
killing
are in
who's
the driver's
first?
seat. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens next week. Y'all have a great night.
See ya.
Later.
Fair.